Okay, I think we're recording. Newbie vlogger right here. My name is Patrick Mabilog. My friends call me Kiko. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this channel and the video content that I'm putting out. I'm so excited to journey with you. You know what? I mean, first and foremost, I'm really nervous because sometimes even when you're in your own room, you can experience that because you're doing something new. But I kind of felt like I've been battling with the idea of creating video content for such a long time because for some of you who know me, I like podcasting because I don't have to put on nice t-shirts. I'm just coming with my hair all around, being a work from home professional and all of that. But I kind of felt like the times are changing and people are engaging on video platforms. And so I took that as a cue and I said to myself, I need to put myself out there if I really want to accomplish the mission that I feel like God has put me out to do. And for those of you who haven't heard me say the mission yet, let me say it one more time here. My mission, the reason why I do what I do, why I wake up in the morning and why I stay up in the late in the evenings, is because I come to realize that so many professionals today feel uninspired, unmotivated, disencouraged at work. And that has to stop because I believe that work is supposed to be a blessing. I believe that the greatest blessing that there is the chance to be able to do something and to participate in a work that actually brings meaning to your life. And so that's why I came up with my podcast, Workaholic, and I started writing content around professional life and how to escape burnout, how to grow in your career. I really believe that with all of my heart, that Mondays are supposed to be the most exciting part of your week. Being able to do the things that you have the gifts for, and being able to serve people that you get the opportunity to work with or work for. That's such a big blessing, I believe. And I think that it's time that we change that stigma where, the TGIF stigma, where we're always living for the weekends. I think it was Gary Vaynerchuk that really started this. Why don't you start to, do something that you love so much? Of course, not to work on Saturdays and Sundays or, ignore your rest days. That's a completely different story. And you've heard me many times, about the importance of Sabbath and all of that. But I really just believe that our life doesn't have to start on a Friday. That you can go through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with the same zeal, with the same excitement. Now, of course, who doesn't love a nice family outing on a Saturday or Sunday, right? Or those afternoons where you can just read your favorite books and chill and all of that. That's amazing. I love to do that as well. But I also, but my point really here, what I'm really trying to say is that your weekdays or your day jobs essentially shouldn't be a hindrance to living. And I reference to this idea that I've shared around the idea of retirement, more specifically, where a lot of people are really working hard because they want to retire at a certain age and stop working. And for them, that's when, life begins. I mean, life begins when you're 65 or I don't know if it's 50 plus. But I think the real crutch there is when people think that that's when my life starts. And usually yung nangyayari dun is we dedicate like a good portion of our life from the time that we start to enter the workforce, around 21 to 25 years old, average more or less. And move on until 65. And so all of those decades in between just feel like a necessary evil so that I can start living when I retire. When you really think about it, you stop working at 65 and you live another 20 to 30 years. But in order for you to get to that level, parang you give up and you sacrifice a good 30 to 40 years to get there. Some people might say that, you know what, I just have to get through this so that I can retire and all of that, and then I will start to enjoy. Well, why can't we enjoy today? Why can't we start enjoying our livelihoods today? And that's something that really resonates with me because I believe that if we really want to live the life that's really living life to the full, I believe that there must be a certain level of joy that we find in the workplace. 5 days of the 7 days, we're in the office, or if you're working virtually, then you're working, you're doing something, you're dedicating your life, you're dying for your job essentially because you're giving up time in some level. I believe that people need to find something that they can die for. And for us to get to that level, I believe that doing something with excitement in the context of work really, really matters. And I want to leave you with just, 3 key elements to experiencing that. The first thing is passion. Second thing is proficiency. And then the last thing is purpose. So 3 P's obviously. So passion, proficiency, and purpose. Passion, I believe, is something that's very important in our careers. I know there's a lot of debate on whether we should pursue our passion or be practical in all of that. I just come from a place where I'm somewhere in between, right? Because I believe that there are some people who misunderstand passion and think of passion as just doing something that you want to do because you like to do it. But passion kasi it's not just it's not just enjoyment. Passion also comes with this element of suffering, because the word passion in all its essence comes from the Latin word pati, which is to suffer, to be in pain. And that's where we get the concept of the passion of the Christ. And so passion isn't just about the enjoyment and all of that, but it's also about being willing to pay the price and being willing to sacrifice and to suffer for something that really means something to you. So that's the first element to a job that will bring you joy. There needs to be a level of passion for what you do, and finding that passion is not always easy. There's a whole lot of contexts and scenarios that go along with it, but I truly believe that it is a journey that we must all go through to find what our passion is, and find a profession or a job that that ignites us from the inside, and then pursuing that with everything that we have. Secondly is proficiency, or strengths, or the natural gifts that you have. So I believe that every single one of us, we have been given gifts and talents that are raw inside of us that we can develop and we can use to our capacity. There's a study by the Strengths Finder that shows that a lot of people today, they feel unfulfilled at work because they're doing a job that they feel doesn't align with their strengths. That's something that we feel like sometimes it's just something that we have to live with. No, I mean, as long as it pays the bills, as long as something comes in every 15th and 30th, and it's stable in all of that, we would rather give up our strengths for the sake of some level of security. And there's nothing wrong with security naman, no? I mean, I hope and I pray that you do find a level of security in your income, in your job tenureship, and all of that. What can really, bring more joy in your life, I believe it's the strengths, because I believe also that if you really focus on your strengths and you really invest in that and you cultivate that security will follow. That security will come as a result of that, because the better that you become at something, you become a linchpin. And a linchpin basically is someone who is so valuable at that job that they're hard to replace. And strengths are a precursor to being a linchpin and to having security. It's highly important. It's very important for you to discover what your strengths are. I think that's where a lot of people kind of get lost in, because I don't even know what my strengths are. That's something that a lot of people struggle with. But if you truly find what you're good at, if you truly discover what your strengths are, it can bring so much more results in your life. And I hope that you find that. I hope you find that, my friend. So passion, proficiency, and then lastly is purpose. And when you talk about purpose, it's a medyo gas-gas na word. I mean, we've heard that word so many times. But, let me put it this way. When I talk about purpose, what I'm really just talking about is something that goes beyond you. For me, it's just simply a selfless perspective of what you do. Your job, kasi at the end of the day, it does not just benefit you. I've come to realize how many people who feel unfulfilled in their jobs are those who don't really have a lot of benefactors. Meaning, they only do their jobs because it's just for them, or maybe it's just for a small group of people. But I've come to realize that the more people start to benefit from your work, the more fulfilled that you will be in the workplace. When you realize, and sometimes it's not even about expanding your influence. I mean, you don't have to have like 1 million followers or even 1,000. Sometimes it's just quickly realizing who you're already influencing right now. I remember one time when I was talking to our customer service staff. And during this conversation, I just basically, just share this idea na customers that you are helping right now, you're making a difference in their life in some level or another. I mean, there's anxiety, There's fear about, not getting the products that they paid for. There's guiding them through all the ins and outs of experiencing the most from our company. That adds value to them. When they realize it from that perspective, they shared to me how much of an eye-opener it was. Because now they realize that they weren't just taking complaints, they weren't just responding to emails, but they were really doing something that made a difference in someone's life. And so I hope that you find that level of purpose in your life, whether it's already there and you just have to realize, oh nga pala, no, I'm helping these people. Taking the step back and say, oh, yeah, that's right, I'm helping my family. And that's a wonderful purpose. I'm doing this kasi for my family, so that my siblings can go to school, so that, my kids can have a comfortable. That's a wonderful purpose, so that my wife can shop all she wants. That's a wonderful purpose, guys. I mean, because my wife is probably gonna watch this vlog, but that's a wonderful purpose, to serve your family, to provide for your family. And sometimes we just need to remind ourselves of that. And then also every now and then as well, expand your influence. That's why I'm doing this, this vlog. I don't know how much of an influence this will expand. Maybe it might add 2 followers, my wife and someone else. But you know what? That's enough for me, because every single person that I get to influence, is beyond what I deserve, I believe. And it brings so much fulfillment. I mean, I could care less as to the numbers, but as long as it's growing, as long as it's adding, and as long as it's really making an impact on people's life. I don't want to just dance TikTok videos. No offense to people who do, but I'm not gonna do that just for the sake of followers. What I'm really after is purpose and influence. So once again, those 3 things. So first is passion, second is proficiency, and then last is purpose. I hope that this video has added value to you. Please let me know if you do, so that I'll also be a little bit encouraged as well to keep on doing this, kasi this is hard. Wow, it's like I realized, like, oh man, I'm gonna be so drained after this. Please do let me know if you have any questions as well that you want me to discuss here in video, and I'll put on my makeup and make sure that I look presentable, because I don't want to just freak people out. It's like, oh, what's this guy? He's just in his pajamas and he's talking. So once again, thank you so much for watching this video. And please do subscribe when you get the chance. Share this with a friend. Once again, my name is Kiko Mabilog, and I hope that you have an amazing work week ahead of you, because Monday is a blessing. See ya.